So, my old man thinks we can finish second. But quite how mad is he? Well, bonkers, stark raving bonkers, quite frankly. But I listened to him on the phone, which is the least you can do to your family members. I do advise you doing at least that. But I started to look at it and I started to think about what I'd said yesterday in a video, which was, I was talking about the Liverpool and Everton game. When I watched it on Match of the Day, I watched it through a West Ham lens, if you like. And that's not normally the thing we do. Normally, Everton playing Liverpool at the top end of the table would not impact and have any relevance to West Ham at all. At the moment, it does. I say at the moment, a lot of the season is already gone. We are way past the halfway stage. And if you remember, I said that Gio had mentioned that normally we'd be looking at teams like Sheffield United and Fulham and looking at their results. Well, we're not. We're looking at a whole different set of results. So, I listened to what the old man had to say, and I thought, you know what, let's have a little look at these fixtures and sort of talk through quite a lot of his reasoning. And the largest part of his reasoning centres around everybody else having massive fixture congestion and having something else to play for. And us, apart from, I think, one game, apart from on 1 week, us having one game a week for the remainder of the season, which will enable us to concentrate on our own tactics, on our own set pieces, on the training ground, whilst everybody else is flying off here, there and everywhere. Now, I just want to look at the teams that are around us in the league, and in particular our upcoming fixtures against some of those teams as well. Because it's not just about whether we pick up points and whether those around us pick up points, actually how we're going to do against the teams we're playing. It's because the first team we're playing, the team we're playing next, are Manchester City. Now, Manchester City are too far ahead, even for the lofty hammers, are too far ahead for us to catch. However, we play them early on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, right? They play Mönchengladbach in Mönchengladbach. I don't know, there must be a place called Mönchengladbach in Germany. Anyway, so they're in Germany at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. 8 o'clock Wednesday night. They are not going to get home until the early hours of Thursday morning. And let's be honest, they're highly likely to do quite well, but let's say they're not. Let's say it's close. Then they're going to be looking forward to the next game against Mönchengladbach, which is easy for me to say. That's hardly any time. There's hardly any rest time. It's almost no training time, but that's okay. Man City are a great team with a great squad, understandably so. They play us on Saturday, and then they're playing again on the Tuesday against Wolves. Then they play again on the Sunday against Man United. They have a huge amount of fixture congestion coming up here. Now, look, by and large, we shouldn't beat Man City. I'm not saying we can catch them. I'm just saying it is not beyond the realms of possibility we get something against them. It don't take much. And you start looking at the other teams. So the next team down are Manchester United. What have Manchester United got going on? Well, they play Real Sociedad on Thursday, then play Chelsea on Sunday. Look, Chelsea are in the mix as well, obviously. Something's got to give though, right? They both can't win. Well, Chelsea and Man United can't both win. So again, someone's losing points from within that. And again, they're playing, look, Manchester United, they're playing on Thursday, on Sunday, on Wednesday, on Sunday. There is going to be, you have to fancy, bearing in mind they're 4-0 up against Real Sociedad, they're getting through. So that there'll be a next draw for the next round in Europe, the last 16. That's going to be sandwiched in between us. And also, right next to our game, they've also got Leicester City in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. By the way, I should probably say, I've been saying a few times, Spurs still in the FA Cup. They're not. I'm sorry. I thought they were, because I said they still had things to go for. So they can still go for the Europa, whatever the hell it is. They can still go for that one. Sorry, Tottenham, you're not in the FA Cup. You probably knew that. It was me that didn't. Anyway, so Manchester United, again, massive fixture congestion. Now, I see you sort of look at it, and you look at the points in the league. Well, we've got 45 points. They've got 49. Why can't we catch Manchester United? Well, I think the only thing that would suggest we can't catch Man United is this entrenched thing in your mind, in my mind, not yours, my mind, that's Manchester United and we're West Ham. There's no mathematical reason that we can't catch them. Look at the form. Nothing in it. They've got 2 wins out of their last 5 league games. We've got 3 league wins out of our last 5 league games. And they have fixture congestion. We don't. Next team down, Leicester City. Well, Leicester City are also in Europe. Now, they drew 0-0 against Slavia Prague. But they've got to play Slavia Prague again. So they still have fixture congestion. I mean, look, it's anyone's game, clearly. They play Slavia Prague on a Thursday, then they play Arsenal on a Sunday. They might beat Arsenal, they might not. But it ain't an easy game. And you look at a lot of their games, they're not that easy. And once again, they're still in the FA Cup. They're in 2 competitions. 3, including the league. Got to play Manchester City in the Manchester United in the quarterfinals of the Cup. It is fixture congestion. So already we've seen the teams around us, they're all playing twice a week for as long as the case may be, as long as they remain in these competitions. And particularly in the case of, you look at Leicester, you look at Man United, FA Cup as well. They're really trying hard to shoehorn these ones in. Let's look, we've actually got, this is unbelievable, I'm going to say this, we've actually got to look below us now to Chelsea. Does that sound weird or what? Got to look below us now to Chelsea, right? Chelsea are playing Atletico Madrid. Good team, right? Proper team. After Atletico Madrid, which is on, that's today, basically. Sorry, big one. Today, they're playing on Sunday. They have a little bit more of a rest, maybe, than some of the other teams, certainly more than Manchester City do. In fact, at Manchester City, you'd be pretty grumpy, wouldn't you? Manchester City have to play on the Wednesday and then play on the Saturday, whereas Chelsea are on, get an extra, 2 days rest. So anyway, that's, Chelsea then play Man United in the league. Chelsea, Man United, like I said before, one of those got to lose. After that, who are Chelsea playing? Liverpool. Then Everton. Then Leeds. Then Champions League again. Once again, it's Sunday, Thursday, Monday. But I mean, it's very, very tough. Fixture congestion. Look, he's got a big squad there. But you wouldn't say, I think it's fair to suggest, bearing in mind the 1-1 draw with Southampton, he's not done brilliantly better than Frank Lampard had done. So it's interesting. Again, would you expect Chelsea to overtake us? Well, yeah, but because they're Chelsea, not for any sort of mathematical reason. Next down the list, by the way, is Liverpool in 6th. I'm only going down to Everton in 7th, by the way, right? Liverpool in 6th. So Liverpool just lost to Everton. They're in terrible form. Absolutely horrendous form, Liverpool. They've lost 4 of their last 5 Premier League games. It's only the fact that they wear that red kit and they're called Liverpool that makes you think, oh, they're probably going to overtake us. I mean, they're just, let's have a count of them, am I right? We're 5 points ahead of them. 5 points. So, what have they got? Well, Liverpool are playing Sheffield United on Sunday. Now, don't get me wrong. Liverpool should turn Sheffield United over. But then after that, Liverpool playing Chelsea. Then they're all playing Fulham. Then they're playing Leipzig. They're still in the Champions... still in the Champions League. That's their second leg, by the way. They're already 2-0 up. Now, Liverpool could lose that, but you would fancy, even with their depleted squad, and they have massive, massive injury crisis there at the moment, the Liverpool get through. Liverpool get through. They're going to have another 2 fixtures to put in there. And they've got Wolves coming up. They've got Arsenal coming up. They've got Chelsea as their next game. They've got to play Aston Villa. They've got to play Man United. It ain't easy for them. It ain't easy for Liverpool. 2 games a week again. So look at us. We're the only ones. 1 game a week. You could see that rattled Jose Mourinho, if you remember. Jose Mourinho was saying, I don't want this. It's not fair. West Ham haven't played enough games. Well, we have up to now. So we're in this healthy position whilst playing 2 games a week. Now we've got a bit of breathing space. Now we can wrap Antonio in cotton wool. I'll just take you down to Everton. And Everton are the ones, really. Now, Everton are still, obviously, aren't in European competition. So actually, I sort of looked at Everton and thought, oh, actually, if anyone, it's probably them. That being said, they've got Southampton next, which probably won't be an easy game. They've got West Brom, which will. And then they've got Chelsea. Again, not both teams can win. A lot of these teams are playing each other. Now, granted, we have got to play some tough teams coming up. We really have. Look, we could lose our next 4 games. I don't think we will. We could. But let's say we don't. Let's say we get a win and a couple of draws. We're still banging it because all these teams all can't win. By the way, Everton are in the FA Cup quarterfinals as well against Manchester City. So, you know, there's a little period where they're going to have to decide what they're doing as well. They're going to have to decide. In actual fact, it falls a little bit more favourably for them. They play Burnley on the 14th of March, then the FA Cup quarter-final is on the 20th. So it falls a bit more favourably for them. As I say, if I was looking at anybody else, anyone, I'd think, okay, maybe them. But what are we going to be doing? This is what the old man was saying. What are we going to be doing during that time? We'll be plodding along, playing one game a week. Let's just go through our fixtures ever so quickly. Man City, we know. Leeds, Man United, Arsenal. Not easy, but I don't think we lose to all those teams. I really don't. Then we play Wolves, we play Leicester. We can impact. I mean, it's easy to look at these things negatively. Playing Leicester's a good thing, right? We can beat them. That's a 6-pointer. We always used to think in 6-pointers down at the bottom. No, 6-pointers near the top. This is different, uncharted territory. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm not even trying to overly convince myself. I'm just trying to rationalise what the old man had said. We've got Chelsea, we've got Burnley, we've got Everton, Brighton, West Brom and Southampton. I mean, they're Premier League teams. What else? What else do you want? There's, we've got we've got a team in the bottom 3 in there. We've got Brighton, we've got Burnley. We've got Newcastle. There's some lesser teams in there. There's some better teams in there. But what are we going to be doing in this week? And when my old man said, to practice and to go on the training ground, what are we going to be doing? Well, set plays is a massive one for West Ham. I think David Moyes has very much shown as well that he is willing to change his formation for certain games. We've seen it. Almost you feel the more comfortable he gets at West Ham, the more he gets his feet under the table, the more he is willing to chop and change his team, not just the shape, but the personnel within the starting 11 to suit certain opposition teams. We saw it. I felt very much so. The first curveball was against Aston Villa, but he's done it twice since then. So it allows him to work on something tactically. What it shows and what it demonstrates is he's definitely looking at the opposition, as you should. You'd think everybody should, but not everybody does. Pep Guardiola, and you can understand why he doesn't, famously said, I don't look at the opposition and we don't train in defending. doesn't train in tackling. But that's absolutely fine. And there are certain people, I think Arsene Wenger was another one as well. People that play that style often think, well, we'll let the opposition worry about us. Well, that's fine. And I quite like a bit of that, actually. However, not sure that particularly suits West Ham, and not sure a club of West Ham standing should be doing that. So we clearly look closely at the opposition. That's from a tactical shape point of view. And then what about these set plays? Let's just talk about Paul Nevin for a second. And for those of you who don't know, if you've been hiding under a rock, Paul Nevin was the set-piece coach for Gareth Southgate's England, when England at the World Cup were swashbuckling and doing all these innovative set play routines. And we are quite clever and quite smart with it. But I think, I think we're still the top in the league. Is that right? From goals, from set plays? We are the masters. Set plays, crosses, corners, whatever it is. That's us. That's what we do. That's what we do well. But they work all the better when you've got a time and a chance to practice them. Probably a little bit more difficult when you're playing 2 games a week, or as it was at one point, we play 3 games in 7 days, didn't we? Something like that. You're basically on the coach or on the train or on the plane all of that time. You're not doing a lot of working on set pieces. This ain't going to be the same. This is going to be able to work out some really, really interesting set piece routines for somebody who I think has shown himself to be one of the best. Look, if there's a better one, I don't know. But statistics suggest we are the best. Our set-piece guru is Paul Nevin. We understand Kevin Nolan has quite a lot to do with it as well. And you'd think particularly in terms of standing in front of the keeper and putting him off as well. Look, we're amongst the best. We have time to work on this. We know we're well drilled in defence. So we're going to be able to assess who we're playing in upcoming games. I think Jose Mourinho played a curveball in that. I think in many respects, he surprised David Moyes with his team selection. I wouldn't be surprised if David Moyes, for the few days before that, had trained and put into action a plan to deal with quite a different team to the one we saw. But I think there were some different. He'd made noises all week that the left back wasn't going to be fit. He made noises that actually the right back, he was going to start Doherty. There were a lot of things that Bale wouldn't be featuring, that Son was dodgy. I mean, you heard a lot of this stuff, and actually went out with quite an attacking lineup, Jose Mourinho. A lot of attacking players on the pitch. Yet Moyes still adapted. So that's all well and good. Not every manager's going to do that. And I do feel that David Moyes on the training ground is going to be able to look at teams when they come up and maybe, you know, basically when we go and play Newcastle, for instance, and we've got a week there, we'll know everything about them. Every player will be drilled to deal with Saint-Maximin or Almiron or whoever it may be at the time. So is the old man barking mad? Well, yes, he is, but for different reasons. However, I had to say, and whilst I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, I think we're going to finish second, right? Which is what he said. He'd taken all that into account, everything I've just described, and he went on to talk about team spirit a lot, but we're already up to the 15-minute mark anyway, so I'll talk about that another time. And he comes to the conclusion that we could finish second. So I'm not going to sit here and say we can finish second, but I will say that there was a little bit of let's say, logic and a certain amount of calculation and a little bit of sense to what he was saying.